on, you Spurs. All right, match day 13 of the English Premier League. This week we have a series of matches lined up, and to review those with me is Chuma. Chuma, welcome to the program.
Awesome to be here. Awesome to be here as always. For the rest of the the rest of the fixtures that don't really that don't really motivate Spurs fans to think, but we're going to do them anyway.
That's okay. Before we get into it, and Chuma, you have those housekeeping things, don't you? What are they?
As always, our housekeeping. Welcome to Common News Spurs TV. If you are here for the first time, thank you for tuning in and viewing. We just asked that if you could click on the subscribe button and the notification bell that lets you know every time that we put out content, and you could just share with your family and friends, and also comment. We love to hear your comments on what you think we should be talking about, any views you have on Spurs and other teams in the league as well, both domestic and international. As always, come on, you Spurs.
Thank you so much, Chuma. So, week 13, I think we're going to have the full complement of matches. I mean, starting from Sunday and ending on Monday. Opening with City versus Liverpool. Probably that's the marquee match of that round, right? Now, City are ahead of the league at the moment. I think they top the league with 1 point ahead of Liverpool. And I think we and those guys at the road come behind respectively. They're probably just a little bit ahead of us on goals difference. But yeah, where are we? City, Liverpool, 12:30 kickoff Saturday. What do you reckon?
I think it's City's defense bad. Liverpool's attack flying. I see Liverpool coming in for an upset. So I see Man City 2, Liverpool 3. I don't know why, but I just think that. I think, yeah.
So you think Liverpool's attack is would do the honors against Man City at home?
I think so. Man City have never been so gettable as right now. So I think right now they're very gettable. Especially
Man City. Remember City are playing at home, remember?
Yeah, I know, but there's something that's happening to Man City, I think, defensively as well. That's not, and Liverpool just have these guys that I think if Man City don't dominate possession as much as I think they will, then I see Liverpool. I don't know why. I just see an upset. Ever since I saw the game up, I just said, no, I can see an upset, 2-1 or 3-2 to Liverpool for whatever reason. I'd love to be surprised if both of them could lose. Spurs fans would take that.
Well, this is it. So yes, I mean, I'm praying for both of them to lose, but hey, that's not going to work out. Probably end up 2-2 draw. I think I'll go for a 2-2 draw for that match. Right. So 2-2 on my side. On your end, you think Liverpool will edge it 3-2, right?
3-2 edged, yeah.
Right. So that's a pretty good scoreline for that one. Next one is Burnley versus West Ham United. Burnley, West Ham. Burnley playing at home, Turf Moor. The two claret, eh? Right, Burnley have promoted. They haven't sort of done that. They haven't lit up the Premier League just yet. I mean, well, not that they expect them to light up the Premier League, but hey, but they were like really fantastic coming up, and they played really, really well. Now they sit just above Everton now, I think, or just below Everton actually, with the point deduction. Now, what that means is that they've got 4 points and they've only won one match out of the possible. They've drawn They haven't actually had any draw, have they? They had they've had a few draws actually. They've had one draw and they've lost 9. So that's pretty dire numbers there. And West Ham, I think West Ham are currently sitting at number 9 on the table, and I think they got 16 points so far. So yeah, I mean, it's quite a bit of a gap in there. On paper, it looks like a West Ham, win. I mean, if you want to sort of do that, but hey, what do you think?
Burnley have been there for the taking all season, especially at home, and they concede more than 2 goals. So yeah, West Ham 3, Burnley 0. Is what I see. It doesn't change.
Right. So I think it's who's playing at home. I think Burnley are playing at home actually. Yeah. So
Burnley are playing at home and they lose all their home matches because they're trying to play Pep football, and as much as I admire Vincent Company, I just don't think he doesn't have the experienced players. I think it's more the caliber of players he has. He has players that would shine very much in the Championship who are very young as well. But in the Premier League, you need experience, and you also have to have other ways of playing to at least stabilize yourself in the league first. And I think he's gone with trying to be himself, and it's not working out for him. So unfortunately, I see West Ham coming there and getting a good result with goals as well.
Yeah, I mean they got plenty of threats in West Ham. They got Bowen, who's playing out of his skin at the moment. He's really playing very well. And I know Antonio hasn't been in the goals lately, but he's always been very, very strong and contributed a lot in the attack. It's like almost like the unspoken hero.
Ironically, I think both those guys are injured.
Oh wow! Okay, are they? Oh wow! Okay, so
I think Bowen was sent back from the England squad, and Antonio from the Jamaican squad.
Oh wow! So yeah, if they haven't recovered, they probably still have plenty of ammunition up there to sort of create havoc for Burnley. I mean, they've got Suchek, they've got plenty. I mean, plenty of other players to cause problems for Burnley. Now, Luton Town versus Crystal Palace, right? All of these are 3 p.m. kickoffs, by the way, on Saturday, GMT. Luton Town. Now, Luton, I don't think they should be underrated. They're playing Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace obviously play a very solid game all the time. But I think this might be a win for Luton, What do you think? I'll go for Luton 1-0 win for Luton. I didn't give my score for Burnley versus West Ham. I think West Ham will probably edge it 2-1. So yeah, 2-1 West Ham for me on Burnley, right? So Luton, I think Luton will win this one, 1-0 against Crystal Palace. What do you think?
I actually think Palace will win. I think Palace will win 1-0 because it's one of those games where you never know what you're gonna get from Palace usually, because sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're like
really dire.
Yeah, but I just think they have enough. They have more than enough. Luton Town and Palace are defensively very good. They're very well organized by Roy Hodgson. So Luton have a problem scoring goals, and Crystal Palace just have enough to break away and score. So that 1-0, I'll reverse it and I'll say it's Palace 1, Luton 0.
Okay, so I say Luton 1, Palace 0, and Chuma says Luton 0, Palace 1. Another big match on Saturday. Newcastle hosting Chelsea at St. James's Stadium. That's a big one. And Chelsea have sort of almost like we sparked off their run of wins, Also run of good games. I mean, they played against us 1-4-1. Okay, all bids. Fortunate circumstances from their perspective, From our perspective, unfortunate set of circumstances. But hey, there you go. That's football for you. And Newcastle maybe in a bit of a blip at the moment. They have a lot of injuries as well. Have injuries to key players. Maybe some suspensions as well. So they might struggle to put out a good team. However, if you look at their last match, I mean, the one they played. I can't remember who they played. I think they played Arsenal. They won 1-0. Even with the depleted team. So I mean, that's a very, very tough team to play against. Whenever you go to St. James's Park, you're up against a tough challenge. So yeah, I'm not sure that Chelsea are going to have an easy ride when they get there. So yeah, it's one of these. They've got to give it that very, very best to come away with anything in that match. I think Chelsea might win that one. I think Chelsea 2-0 for me. What do you say?
Well, I would have agreed with you. In fact, I think Chelsea, quote unquote, stole Tottenham's anointing, if you can use such a term. They stole our anointing and they ran with it, and they gave Man City a game. And I think the emergence of Cole Palmer, which I expected ever since that boy left City, I said whichever team would get Cole Palmer, would reap the benefits, because I think he's a very intelligent player. I still can't believe Pep Guardiola let him leave. And he's playing very well. And Raheem Sterling has come into form. Raheem Sterling is such a he's such a divisive figure, I think, for the pundits. But for us as fans, I look at Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling is a baller. He's a player. And the fact he was omitted from the England squad, I think, in my opinion, I think it alludes to something personal as opposed to his football. Because on form in the last two games, Raheem Sterling's been he's been doing it.
It's been on fire, hasn't it?
However, Newcastle, once again, organized side, they play on the front foot. Eddie Howe, I don't think they lost their last game, because the Arsenal game was 2 games before. So
no, that was the last game. I think.
Home game.
I think that was the last home game. If I recall.
The last home game, yeah. So yeah, I see them. I don't know. I just think they'll cancel each other out, because Newcastle are looking to step up. They've lost a few games and they don't want to. And the Champions League game as well was really bad for them. So I think they're willing to step up. And Chelsea, as good as they are going forward, defensively they are not as strong as we all think they should be. So I can see a couple of goals in this. I'm going for a 2-2 draw.
Right, you're going for a 2-2 draw on that one. Okay. The next match is Brighton and Hove Albion versus.
Yes, Forest, Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, Forest. Yeah, Forest at home to Forest. So Forest at home to Brighton. Now, I think if I recall, Forest beat Villa and beat them convincingly. I think it was a 3-1 victory in that match. And I thought to myself, wow, how did Forest pull this off? The Forest are one of those teams that you just don't underrate under any circumstances. So yes, what do you think? I think Forest might come away with 1-0 on this one. Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of difficult, because some people are saying they found Brighton out, or they found De Zerbi out, and De Zerbi's system is predicated, or his tactics are predicated on the other team attacking him. So if you attack Brighton and you press them, they just pass their way through. But when you sit back in this most famous word everyone's gotten more familiar with ever since Tottenham's game, if you're in a mid or low block, Brighton, I think,
I'm so sorry. Sorry to interrupt you. I think what happened was Newcastle's last match was against Bournemouth, and they lost away. They lost 2-0 to Bournemouth. Yeah, sorry.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah. Carry on. So,
but you were right. You did say their last home match. So their last home match was against Arsenal. So and this is the home match as well. So that plays it. But if Forest come out attacking, I think Brighton will wipe the floor with them. But I think everyone's observed that Brighton find it more difficult to break you down if you're not pressing them full press. You're not coming for them. And I think Nottingham Forest coach is smart enough to do that. So yet again, another draw. And Brighton's gotten a lot of draws this season. So I'm going for a 1-1 draw.
Okay, I'll go for Forest victory, 1-0. Sheffield United versus AFC Bournemouth. Bournemouth are probably riding on the crest of a wave of winning the last match against Newcastle, which was totally unexpected result, given Newcastle's form, their position in the league, and all of that. So you think, hang on, what's happening here? Because I mean, Bournemouth are not what you might call. What's it? I mean, Raiola is that's probably his second victory. I mean, since the league started, so it's really, really big scalp. He's come away with there, right? And the last match Sheffield played was away to Brighton, and it was a 1-1 draw. So I think this time round, I'll probably go for I'd go for a Bournemouth win. Bournemouth to win 1-0.
I'd say the same. Iraola of Bournemouth is a coach I like. I understand what he's trying to do at Bournemouth, but I think the things that Gary O'Neill left in place were very good. He struggled to make his team play the way he wants them to play, and I think they're starting to understand a bit. But Sheffield United, I think, They started the league badly. They've tried. They've stabilized things. To the credit of their board, they didn't sack their manager after the rout by Newcastle. But the same as you, I see Bournemouth winning this, and I see Bournemouth scoring 2 goals or more in this because Sheffield United, if they come out to play, Bournemouth can pass through them. That's how Iraola's system works as well. So I think I see two or more. So I'll go 2-0 to Bournemouth actually.
Okay. 1-0 to Bournemouth from my perspective. So Sheffield 0, Bournemouth 1 from my perspective. From Chuma's perspective, Sheffield 0, Bournemouth 2. All right. So now the 5:30 kickoff on Saturday would be Brentford hosting the guys up the road, Arsenal. Right. Brentford against Arsenal. I mean, you know what I'm going for, don't you? I think Brentford are going to spank them to smithereens. Probably going to end up 2-0. But having said that, I mean, on a serious note, Arsenal are not a bad side. So yes, they'll give a good account of themselves. But Brentford are so good on the counter. They're very, very serious threat against any team. They'll give any team a good run for their money. But they do concede goals, though. They do concede goals. So with Arsenal's attacking threats, it may pose a bit of difficulty for them. But I'll take go for an emotional Brentford 2-0.
You become the anti-Optimus when it comes to things like Arsenal.
Or maybe I should actually jinx them and say Arsenal are going to win and then they'll end up losing.
No, well, I don't think this is the funny thing is I don't think any Spurs platform, forum, blog, or podcast you can actively just say, yeah, well, Arsenal's gonna win. In your heart of heart, you're like, no. So I'll stick to that theme as well, and I'll go Brentford, like you said, everything you said is spot on. Brentford are so good on the break, and Arsenal will have a lot of possession. And if Arsenal don't score early, and if Arsenal don't score more than one, I see Brentford like literally coming at them, and especially the player who a lot of people don't. He's kind of underrated. He doesn't get that much love. Is Brian Burmo. Brian Burmo is such an effective player, especially in a team like this that is set up to just break and be on transition. That guy cuts in, is a goal.
Exactly.
So I give Brentford. I actually think 2-1 to Brentford. I see Arsenal scoring, and if they score first and they don't double up, I think Brentford come back. Brentford are one of those teams that you know the saying in certain horror movies, like they just don't stay dead.
Absolutely.
If you don't load them up,
they don't lie down. They don't lie down at all.
They don't lie down at all. So there lies the issue.
Right. So going on to Sunday matches, Tottenham versus Villa. I think we've done that in a separate program. And so we've gone very quickly. We said 3-1 to Tottenham. Everton versus Man United, 4:30 kickoff. On Sunday, GMT, Everton at home. Just finished probably the debacle of the point deduction. And they're probably feeling so, pained now. So if you look at how I'm going to put this now, they've been on a good run lately. Sean Dyche seems to be getting them to play, but I'm not sure what the point deduction will do to the morale of the team. If it does, they create a siege mentality of us against the world. It might motivate them to come out all guns blazing and say, look, nothing to lose. Let's go and blast these guys, whoever play at the water. Or it might just play the victim and the war is me thing, and that would deplete them. We'll see. But knowing Sean Dyche, I think he's got a good man manager, and he'll know what to say to get them fired up, and I think they'll probably end up winning because they've got a good record against Man United lately. So yeah, I think Everton probably end up winning this 2-1. What's your take on this one?
With Everton, I would have really supported them, but ever since they dumped Tottenham, they tried to throw Tottenham under the bus relating to their financial problems. I'm losing a lot of love for Everton, but I still like the team. I think, like you said, Sean Dyche is very organized. He's going to get them defensively very sound. I don't know what the point deduction has done to their morale. If this is going to G them up or is going to deflate them. But one thing I know is I think Manchester United are going through some stuff as well behind the scenes.
Absolutely,
and,
yeah.
You know, but every time you try to count Erik ten Hag out, he just seems to pull out a victory. So in this one now, I would have said, Everton will just, have been buoyed by the 10-point deduction, and the players are really up for it, and they're really going to steamroll Man United. But I just see Ten Hag just has this habit of his teams pulling something. So I see this being 0-0 till the 90th minute, and then United pulling off a win. And I see United pulling off an away win. If ever so unexpectedly, I see United pulling off a 1-0 or 2-1.
Okay, so I go Everton 1-0. Oh, sorry, 2-1, and then you go the other way around, yes?
The other way, yeah.
Okay, beautiful. So final match of that round was going to be on Monday, the 27th of November, and that is between Fulham hosting Wolverhampton Wanderers, Wolves, 8 p.m. kickoff GMT. Fulham, very not bad under the coach. I keep forgetting his name now. Remind me.
Marco Silva.
Second?
Marco Silva.
Yes, Marco Silva, exactly. And then you have Gary O'Neill, who's doing a fantastic job with Wolves, who just come off a 2-1 victory against Tottenham at home. They'll go away to Fulham, different proposition, but in London, and Marco Silva's teams they haven't been too bad either. So it's going to be one of the tough games. It might end up being a draw. I think it might end up being a 1-1 draw for me. That's what I want to go for. 1-1 draw.
Fulham play good football, but ever since they lost the striker, his name escapes me now. The Serbian striker. Ever since Mitrovic, that's it. Ever since Alexander Mitrovic left, and also, just various things happening. Especially Mitrovic's loss. They don't have that spearhead in attack to really dent you. They've got Wolves' former striker, Raul Jimenez, playing for them. Jimenez scored his first goal in over 15 months or something like that. The game before the international break, the loss they had. But he's not the same player he was at Wolves. Gary O'Neill, I'm really impressed with, especially the way he's taking this side and he's just giving them an identity of how to play. So I see Wolves winning this 1-0. I see Wolves winning this 1-0. Their players, I think Wolves' players are getting what they need to get. And that victory over Spurs, as much as it hurts us as Spurs fans, I think it's really made them really identify with what their coach is doing. And Fulham just don't have, in attack, Fulham's attack always breaks down. Wolves, on the other hand, have guys who can come on and hurt you. And I think the only thing is, I think Pedro Neto, I think he's injured again. So that's probably the only out. But they have the Brazilian Matheus Cunha, who I believe is he's like the Musa Dembele of Spurs in attack. He can carry a ball, but he can't do.
He just has to finish. He just finishes.
He just can't score. But he's really good at moving the ball forward. But I think they have enough. I think they have more than enough. And I think Wolverhampton Wanderers won, Fulham 0.
Okay, so thank you so much for that. In the meantime, come on, ye Spurs.
Come on, ye Spurs.
Come on, ye Spurs.